In this video, I'll be showing you how to play 12-bar blues on piano. My name is Tobey from jazzmental.com. Thanks for joining me for another one of my tutorials. We're working on the jazz tune Blue Rondo a la Turk by Dave Brubeck. And in the middle section where it goes to the solos, it doesn't stay in 9/8 time. In the beginning of the solo section, it goes back and forth from 9/8 to 4/4. And in that section, there is the 12-bar blues. And then it just drops that and then goes straight 12-bar blues. So it's a little bit of back and forth. And in this tutorial, I'm going to start off by playing you the entire section, which is the solo section. And then I'm going to tear apart the blues and we're going to talk about the scales, the left-hand voicings, the chords, things like that. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Let's get started. Okay, like I promised, we're going to play you now this 9/8 to 4/4 section and then straight into the solo section, which is 12-bar blues. Let me play that for you now and then we'll start tearing it apart. Okay, so in that section, what you heard was, if you look at the screen right now, you've got 2 bars of F, and then it goes 2 bars of 9/8 time. So 2 bars of F. And then the 9/8 time. And then it's 2 bars of B flat. And then it does a 2-5-1, G minor to C7. So when we're talking about the blues now, because it's just going to play straight blues, which is really the focus of this video, and when you want to put the entire song together, you're going to need this blues section. So let's take a look at the blues itself. So essentially what you have is 4 bars of F, and then 2 bars of B flat, and then 2 bars of F, and then a 2-5-1, 2-5-1, and that covers 2 bars, and then 1-6-2-5, which is the turnaround. So that's 12 bars. So 4 bars plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and then add the 4 bars at the bottom, that's 12 bars. And that's a typical blues progression. Now you may see some passing chords in there, such as this one, so it skips into the 4 chord for 1 bar. It also, here, it skips into B diminished 7th for 1 bar, and then the rest is just the cycle of 5th. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. But let's talk about the first 4 bars where you've got F7. So So that's the blues scale, 1 flat 3 to 4, flat 5 to 5, and that flat 5 is a passing note. It doesn't really belong in this scale, but it's part of blues because it's like gives that sound. It's how piano players do blue notes, whereas guitar players can bend notes and singers can bend notes. Piano players can't do that. So what we do is we just sort of skip between the notes and use them as passing notes. So 1 flat 3 to 4, flat 5 to 5 to flat 7 to 1. And in the left hand, I'm just using this 2/5 pattern of C minor 7 to F7, which is part of another video. I'll throw a link up here to that video where it talks about 2-5-1 progressions and how to play those chords. So just I'm taking the 5-7 chord right out of that progression. And then the same thing for the B flat 7. And then in the right hand, you want to play just the blues scale to get used to it. So the left hand is like 8th note ahead of the beat. So you want to get used to that feeling where that left hand is pushing the beat a little bit, always an 8th ahead of the beat. Really, all I'm doing there is just playing the blues scale, and I totally get that it doesn't sound totally great. It's just a way for you to start comprehending how blues is put together. Just use that scale because it's the most important scale in blues. And also keeping going with the left hand comping while you're doing it. So getting that whole sort of swing feel as you're playing through the blues. Now, there are other chords and scales that you can use, such as I circled earlier the B diminished 7th. So it's like a passing chord, and you can stick that in there, but you can still play the blues scale. In the actual right hand as you're soloing, there are other scales that you can play as well, such as the Bebop scale. So on the way up, I'm just playing the natural 3, and then on the way down, I'm playing flat 3. And then, of course, you can also spell the chords. And you can also play riffs. And of course, it takes a little bit of work to practice that. So let me play you a little bit of how it comes out of the blue rondo 9/8 time and into the 4/4 time blues progression. So it finished off that section where it's, and then it's, Now, the interesting thing about that last 4 bars is it goes from 2, which is G minor 7, to 5, which is C7, and then to 1. But what I did when I was soloing there, I approached the G minor 7 with a 2-5, which is A minor 7 flat 5, to D7, then to G minor. So that's in the key of F, that's 3, 6, 2, 5. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. And then it repeats itself in the last 2 bars, which is essentially 1, 6, 2, 5 instead of 3, 6, 2, 5. It's kind of the same thing. F7 and A minor 7 are kind of interchangeable, or A minor 7 flat 5. So 3, 6, 2, 5 to 1, 6, 2, 5. So when you're soloing, it's So what I want you to do is I'm going to post the sheet music for the blues solo below. I've actually written out a solo. We didn't really go through that here. I did that in another video, but I'm going to post this below and give you the sheet music for it. I'm also going to post the section where it's going back and forth between 9/8 time and 4/4 time, where it's transitioning out of the tune into the solo. And then if you have any questions about any of that and you want me to make a video about a particular element, just post it below. If you have your own recording of it, that would be great. You can also send a link along to that. And of course, any comments that you have, great. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in another tutorial. Thanks for your time. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We're making 5 videos a week, just like this one, on various aspects of music and the music business. So I'd really appreciate it if you could come back and join me another time. Take care.